I'm extra loud, and I don't need improvement. Fell asleep, a man woke up superhuman.
Yo, internet, how's it going? Welcome back to the Jongravesshow. Today I wanted to talk to everybody about a wonderful little game, or at least all these beautiful announcements that have been coming out for Resident Evil. You know, because I believe that there have been talks about bringing Resident Evil Outbreak back, and to be honest with you, boy, I am looking forward to that, because again, Resident Evil Outbreak was that multiplayer Resident Evil game that even though it kind of wasn't the best for like the time it came out, but it was very ambitious. It was a very ambitious Resident Evil game where for those of you who don't know, it was a 4-player Resident Evil game where basically you would pick from this assortment of characters who all had specific abilities and everything, or at least like that, they had specific abilities or specific perks and benefits and whatnot, and then you could use that in these specific levels that were created so that you could make your way through this level faster or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because the game had characters like Kevin, who's an RPD police officer who started with a handgun, but like he would take less shots to kill zombies because he was a police officer. And then you had Yoko, who was a Umbrella employee, but like she had an extra backpack and whatnot to where like that she could carry more stuff in, you know, because like she had extra space and everything. I forget all of the characters' names, but like every single one of them had something about them. Like one character had a lockpick, another one had the ability to like combine random items to make super weapons. Another one had like a lucky coin that basically could change the events in the level and everything. It was actually really smooth. The only problem with it was that the game was online, and you know, this was back at a time where voice chats and everything else, or at least like even internet connections like through a game console, it wasn't as frequent as what it was today. So basically you look at that and it's like, yeah, like I kind of want that game to come back. And some screenshots came out looking at some of these characters where like you got the first screenshots leaked for this brand new Resident Evil game. It's called Project Resistance. And from how it's looking, it looks like it's going with the same 4-player like combat initiative like from what the original was. And the weird thing is that I was actually kind of preaching this like before, like when I was playing Resident Evil 2, like I did do a Let's Play of that. I was saying in that it was why not actually make a 2-player version where basically you run through as both Claire and Leon, but just the items in question are just limited. Like all the ammo is like in the same spot, but it's limited only to one character. Because if you think about the game in question, you know what I'm saying? Like for just for Resident Evil 2, it's like Leon and Claire, they both have their handguns, they both have their own specific upgrades, they both have their own specific ammo types and everything else, right? To a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Because shotgun ammo, I mean, like you swap out shotgun ammo for like flame rounds and specific gunpowders, and bam, like you got this perfect co-op experience where basically, you know, like you are literally like just clutching your way through the game. And also it kind of helps the story grow out a little bit better because, you know, I know what they want to do, but oh boy. But going back into this Project Resistance though, it does look like it's going to take a little bit of what the Resident Evil 2 like survivor little thing was, and they're just applying it to a 4-player co-op game, or at least that's what it seems like it is, you know, because I know some like we're talking about like this game has a character creator and all that other stuff because some of the characters like that, they look really create a character. But again, if they went back to the original Outbreak and then like they kind of just was like, okay, we have these specific characters, they have specific abilities, and you pick a specific setup of players and whatnot, and then like they use their skills to get through the level, I feel that would be a little bit better than trying to give you like this little like create a character thing and then give you a perk and whatnot, because then everybody can pick the same perk perk and pick like the same thing or whatever, or basically you leveling up perks and whatnot. I mean, again, the new thing now is to basically give, or at least like go the battle royale route, and you know, you give characters specific abilities and then go that way. I was also hearing about like actually making this like a battle royale game, and I'm like, Resident Evil doesn't work well with the battle royale feel. I mean, again, even though they did fix that problem in Resident Evil 6 with the whole thing of you being able to move and aim like at the same time, the reality of it is that a mercenaries mode works, a main story mode works, battle royale where basically you're like on a big ass map and then like the area closes in on itself and slowly kills the characters, not so much. Like that's something that doesn't fit with Resident Evil, even if you try to make Resident Evil like this slick run and gun type of game. Because even in the new game 2 now, like for what they're doing with it, like running and gunning is not a Resident Evil thing. It's more or less like, I mean, like the stop and pop is still in Resident Evil 2. So basically, you trying to take that and push that into the narrative, it's not really going to help. But I do see where they're coming from with that. But until then, though, that is what I gotta say about that, though, because the Tokyo Game Show is coming up soon. A lot of stuff is coming up for it. You know, things from basically you got Resident Evil all the way down to Mega Man, and there was some other stuff coming out for it. But I'm like, Capcom went from Monster Hunter to basically throwing out Resident Evil and all these other games like that are like that are supposed to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like they're even putting brand new stuff in Street Fighter. So believe me, like Capcom is coming strong. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. I'll keep coming with the news. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.